Welcome to another episode of Positivity. I'm going to start by saying that I'm not a mental health professional. I just a passionate guy, Hasidish, grew up Hasidish, still am Hasidish, enjoying my life. But I have a gift from Hashem that I enjoy to share. I'm not shy to share. I enjoy when people see my content. I enjoy when I can help people. I enjoy to hear feedback from people that I helped by simply bringing awareness to certain topics that nobody wants to share. So, um, here we are sitting at a podcast, and this was highly requested by a lot of people to talk about mental health or mental health problems or the results of situations that happen or come out because of mental health. So, first, let's define mental health, okay? For every boy or girl, for every man or woman watching this, what is mental health? So, I actually looked up, I Googled it because I know for myself my opinion of it, but I researched it, and in the dictionary, when you look up the word mental health, it comes up a person's condition with regard to their physical and emotional well-being. So there is not, the mental health itself is not a bad word. It's not a curse. It's not a symptom. Mental health itself is the emotional being. There's a person that has a good mental health, and there's a person that has a bad mental health. It depends on their psychological level, which is in the brain, and their emotional level, which is in their body, their feelings, how they feel, and one drives another. Thoughts drive the feelings, feelings drive thoughts. Now, what happens to many people in life and why we see a mental health problem is some are born with it. They're born with a certain condition in their, or a certain personality um, that dictates their well-being, their psychological state, and their emotional state. And some become conditioned to these circumstances, whether they have a rough childhood or they have a traumatic event or something happens to them that conditions this person that he or she has an issue, a problem. So, for example, if you load up a truck and this truck can carry, let's say it can carry 5,000 pounds, right? So it can now drive with 5,000 pounds for about 2 days, 3 days, maybe even a week. But if you put onto the truck 10,000 pounds, it might be able to carry it for a while, but after a day or two, there's a big chance that the truck will break down and stay at the side of the road. Now, this applies to our lives as well. There's a certain amount that every human being can handle when it comes to stress or anxiety or uncertainty in their life. Abuse, pain, there's a certain amount that a person can handle. After that comes what we all know as a common word, a breakdown. A nervous breakdown, a mental breakdown, a snap. There are so many words that people use or throw around, and sometimes the word is misused to make fun of somebody. That person snapped, that person had a mental breakdown. It's just words that people throw around, but okay, for the sake of the conversation, let's explain what does this kind of breakdown mean, and to explain to you and that you can understand that there are many people, including yourself, that you have mental breakdowns. You just don't even know how to define them. You don't exactly know how to tune into them. And you didn't even know until now, probably, that mental breakdowns can actually be a very healthy thing. Just because little babies have every day, they have a mental breakdown. Their mental state breaks down into different things as they grow older. So mental breakdowns can be a very healthy thing. But what's a bad mental breakdown? A bad mental breakdown is when somebody suffers and struggles for long enough and they can't carry the weight, so they break down and they're at the side of the road and struggling. And this is unfortunately what happens to many people, and some of the stories that are happening within our own community. And some people know the story, some people don't know. There's different variations, but it doesn't really matter. But this is unfortunately what happened to those people. They suffered, they struggled, and I'm not pinpointing exactly what happened. It's none of my business. But this is usually what happens for all those people curious and worrying and afraid that this might happen to them. or they're like, wow, there's evil in the world. How do I prevent myself from being that evil? The answer is everything that has a cause and effect. And the effect of years of sadness or fighting or depression or stuff like that is is the mental breakdown, is the bad things that happen. But the cause of it all, the cause of all of these things that happen is things that are preventable. So what are the causes to these things? What caused this problem? Let's not focus on the problem. Let's not focus on the effect. Let's focus on the cause of the problem, which is something that we can control a lot more. Okay? And that brings me to the number one thing. If you are struggling in life, the first thing you should be aware of is that there's help available. Speak to the camera got overheated and I put up an umbrella. Hopefully it's going to be better now. All for you, for the cholesterol. So, I said speak to a professional and hope it doesn't fall on my head. Speak to a professional about what you're feeling, about your problems. There is professional help. The Rambam says, and I read it this Yontiv in the Moment magazine, just like a person goes to a doctor when they have a physical problem in their body, so they should go to a doctor when they have a nafshi problem, which means something is not okay with their nefesh. It's not a physical problem. It's something that they feel that they're not okay. They're not enjoying life or whatever that is. I can say from my experience, I've gone for the past year to therapy, and I feel like a different person. I constantly have challenges. I constantly still have struggles, but I have somebody that I can talk to, that understands me, that can process those things on a day-to-day basis. So there's a lot of professional help. There's different versions, different types, different sizes, different prices, but there is professional help out there. And even if there is a stigma about it, or you're afraid of it, or it's today's days, you can do it so conveniently from your home through Zoom, on your phone, on a tablet, computer, whatever. You don't have to go somewhere. You don't have to meet somebody. You don't have to be afraid. There's, I understand the doubt a little bit around it, but there is professional help out there that the moment you feel a little bit overwhelmed or you feel that you're not okay, and you feel any kind of feeling that you don't enjoy that feeling, whether it's feeling scared or anxious or depressed or shame or anger or resentment, or you're addicted to something or whatever it is, there's professional help out there, and those people can truly help you and turn your life around. Okay? So I think that that's it's very important for people to be aware of the professional help out there, because a lot of lives can be saved by it. A lot of You can just even enjoy your life better and more from wherever you are right now, and I think that that will be tremendous. Another thing is to take care of ourselves, meaning that today certain patterns that people have in their life is so far off from what a normal, happy, healthy life should look like. Whether it's an addiction to a phone or an addiction to seeking outside validation, or it's people that are not eating healthy or not exercising, all these things compile to something that creates mental health problems. Okay? So I said it in a video yesterday. I heard this from Dr. Jordan Peterson, one of the biggest psychologists in the world. At least I think he has the biggest following. He said that 50% of his patients, the people that come visit him, he sends them home for a simple good meal and for a night of sleep. 50% of people, all they need is a regular sleep and a healthy meal. So yes, sleeping and a healthy meal is crucial for your mental health, so that you don't get a mental health problem. Somebody wrote to me on WhatsApp from one of the Talmidim of Reb Nachman, who said that the Yetzer Hara knows that the easiest for him to get us is when we are either not rested well or when we didn't eat well. So he tries to make us fail when it comes to these simple essential things in our life. But let's not allow that. I know for myself, I created an extremely healthy diet. I created a very healthy sleeping schedule. I created a very healthy routine with my phone, when I use it and when I don't. And all these things helped me tremendously. Now, that's not to say that I don't have challenges. I believe that I still have a lot of challenges. And this week specifically was very difficult for me with the whole summer coming up and all that expectations. Everybody has different expectations. Even as a child, you transition from school to camp, day camp, sleepaway camp, going upstate, a bungalow, a different house, a different energy, different people. I think it's an interesting week. But for me, with all the tools that I have, all the things that I learned, and the kind of personality that I built, even though I was in a lot of pain, I was still able to see above it, to see beyond it, to see it from an outside perspective and understand what's happening, what's going through, so that I can just feel those feelings and be in touch with it and understand it, and then choose for myself to not get depressed by these things. I use also journaling as a very helpful tool. I journal every single day. I write down, what am I feeling today? What am I thinking? If I can't take control of my own thoughts and feelings, then who is? What is? I'm just thinking anything and everything. I don't think that that's cool for anybody. And talk about the opposite side of it. Once you have control over your thoughts and your feelings, then you can do anything. You can achieve anything. You only allow the happy, positive thoughts and positive feelings of love, thoughts of deserving, thoughts of who you really are, what you're really capable of. So it's very important to take control of our thoughts and feelings. And the only way to do that is by taking proper action in our day-to-day life, as I listed a few. Um, what else do I have? So the outcome of this conversation is I've shared with you the information about what mental health means and what a crisis means. I shared with you some simple tricks that you can do, but most of all, this conversation is to bring awareness. And that awareness is number one, if you are struggling in any kind of way right now, no matter what that is, whether it's with a parent, with a sibling, with a kid, with health issues, with money issues, with happiness issues, whatever that is, first and foremost, I am very, very sorry for you. And I don't know what you feel like. The only thing I know is how I feel when I feel really bad. And I know that it really, really sucks. It's a really, really painful experience and it's really, really uncomfortable. But one thing I can tell you, even though you are alone with your specific experience, you're not alone in general. I'm also suffering. I'm also struggling. I also work hard on myself to enjoy life and to be the best kind of version of myself. And so are many others. According to the messages, the hundreds of messages that I get every single day, people are struggling. So understand and know for sure that you are not alone. And whatever you are struggling with is something that someone probably experienced something a little bit similar. Not exactly like you, but a little bit similar. Somebody has went through what you're going through right now, or somebody has experience with what this is. For most people, when they experience the first time something with their mental health, meaning they're not comfortable, let's just call it that, so that the people that are not used to the word mental health don't get triggered. If you're feeling not comfortable, there's somebody that knows what that condition is called. There's somebody that knows how you can get out of that. So the first thing that I'm doing right here is creating an awareness for mental health. And hopefully this will get implemented into our school systems, because some of our teachers, and I'm very grateful for all of them, but they themselves didn't always know what mental health even means or what the proper way of help is. A generation before us did not know about therapy. Therapy, the therapy itself is something that's still new and developing, and people are figuring it out better. But an awareness has to be made. There's people, there are kids, there are adults that are struggling, and this is an awareness that I'm bringing out right now. When everybody goes to shul Friday night, they can say Eli Weber said an awareness about mental health, because it's important, because people are dying. So maybe let's save some lives, perhaps, right? And I don't think that it's my job to do it. But I'm one person that's struggling, that's here to speak out. That's the only value that I can bring to you, a person that is willing to talk. I don't know, I'm not a professional, I'm not licensed, I don't have I'm not a coach, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a rabbi, I'm not a teacher. Nobody asked you to listen to this. If you ask me what right do you have to speak about our situations, what right? What right? I'm a consumer. I'm one person within this community that is just experiencing life and wants to share about it and wants to help others by just simply feeling validated. So I'm glad that we made the awareness, and I hope that the awareness came out the right way. There's one more thing that I want to share is that let's all talk to our friends. Let's all talk to other people. Let's check in on one another. Your own brother and sister can be the one struggling and you don't know about it because you didn't allow them, you didn't hold the space for them. When was the last time you called a random friend and checked in with them? Not the one that you talk to every day and you know that he's okay, but a friend that perhaps nobody calls them. You don't know if your one phone call in the morning telling them just good morning, hi, I'm thinking about you, can save their life. You don't know. We don't know who is struggling right now. But a lot of people are struggling. That's the fact. That's the fact. A lot of people are struggling. And with a simple hello, a simple reach out, a simple asking your friend and allowing them to speak, not just asking them for the purpose of getting over with the conversation, asking them, how are you really, really feeling today? You can truly, truly save a life. So I hope that this small conversation was valuable for you. I hope you take out something from this. And I hope that you feel validated for who you are. You seek happiness or the help or the life that you really deserve. And I hope that you can make a little effort to check in on your best friends or your friends or even a random stranger on the street or a neighbor that nobody calls or checks in with and to tell them hi because you might just save not only your own life, but you might just save somebody else's life. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, you can listen to many other of the podcasts that I have recorded solo or with guests. Um, you can, if you want to connect with me on WhatsApp, I'm going to put the link in the description. Please subscribe and follow wherever you're listening to this. Leave a like, leave a comment. I'm going to try to answer questions. If you have questions about what's happening, I will answer it in the comment section, or maybe I'll make a follow up podcast to answer some of the questions that you might have. And one more thing I want to say, because I'm recording this during the day, I want to just say this episode is sponsored by my own company. Weber Media is a company that creates cool content for social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook that help you potentially boost your brand and your sales even. So we work with companies like Klein's Naturals, Klein's Ice Cream, Cravy, interesting brands that through creating for them cool content, it helps them out tremendously, whether they can now post this content on Instagram and grow a following over there, whether they can post it on WhatsApp status so that people see all the items that they have. And as the saying goes, a photo speaks more than 1,000 words. So when people see a nice video about a product, they want to run and buy it and get it. Or if they see a jewelry, video of jewelry, or if they see a video of any type of product, um, it can inspire them for sales. So we have a great team, and I would love to work with you. You can reach out to talk to me personally, and I would love to help you out on your brand. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.